And Chris is going to talk to you about these pathfinders, because that's essentially what that is. And it's a technique that's used in natural resources all the time. And Chris is going to talk about the pathfinders that we have focused on and where it is taking us in the future. So Chris, that's you.
Thanks, Jim. And yeah, it's nice to talk to everyone again. Obviously, I gave the last update, and at that update, we said that we are now starting to use Jim's phrase, starting to look up from our feet and look on the horizon. And everything that we had done up to date is we had regressed it and put it back to an original thought. And we spoke to the original founders, Ed, Sam, Sean, and Tim Smalley, and they gave us the way they were thinking. And the way they were thinking was, instead of looking for a geologically complex area, let's look for a product that we can win and sell. Once we find that, we then work backwards. So we did the same. We said, let's look at what we know we have. We know we have 310,000 tons in zones 1 to 3. We're going to conduct exploration over that area and see how that presents. Once we completed that, we started noticing that we needed 4 characteristics, geological characteristics, that needed to line up in order for us to viably draw a circle around a target and say, that's something we want to go to. So the initial drilling that we've just completed and the results that we've announced today on zone 1 through to 3 was designed to confirm not only the extent of the deposit, but also to understand the complexity and interpret these carbonatite intrusions. Furthermore to that, what that allowed us to do is build a holistic understanding with regards to our regolith cover. We don't have much outcrop where we are exploring, so we can't just walk up to rocks, and also understand the depth of our weathering. And the results from the drilling, not only the intersects, but from a technical standpoint, have definitely exceeded our expectations. And even better than that, it's allowed us to define favorable deposit characteristics. And what we did was we looked at 4 characteristics. We know that our monazite is associated with thorium. That has a radioactive signature. Secondly, we know that nothing beats boots on the ground. Thirdly, we also understand that we need structural areas of complexity, sources, pathways, traps, in essence, the plumbing for these magmatic, highly viscosity fluids to move up. And then we need a magnetic signature, and that allows us, in essence, to look underneath the cover that we have. And we applied those 4 characteristics over the area that we know, and they lit up. They lit up, and we said, right, we're on the right path. Now we knew if these 4 characteristics are highlighting the areas that we know, then we can apply it to the rest of the license. Now, we're not saying our entire license is going to be extremely prospective, but we do know that we have a significant chunk of our license that has the correct geological environment for this deposition. And the importance of these large monazite crystals and the simple mineralogy goes back to what Jim was mentioning, is it positions Eureka as one of the world's most unique rare earth deposits, in the fact that our early indications are saying we've got a winnable product. We've got a product that can be sold to anyone. And we're working with the Saskatchewan Research Council and our other partners to look at low-cost opportunities in the near future. So this drove our exploration from June. And in June this year, for those of you that were on the call, we spoke about the fact that to date we had only explored just over 2% of our license. And I must commend the field team that we have here, our Namibian technical team and our Namibian field team. They've worked tirelessly over the last 3 months since June, and we've explored almost 72+% of our license. We conducted a radiometric survey, over 1,200 kilometers of radiometrics on a four-wheel motorcycle. We conducted a widespread magnetic survey, over 1,000 line kilometers, walked by foot. And at the same time, our guys in the field, our team in the field, conducted a mapping program. And they've individually mapped over 11,000 points. And you can speak to any explorer, nothing beats boots on the ground for exploration. And right now, the map on the right-hand side, that's the amount of exploration that we've conducted. On the backdrop, you have a radiometric backdrop, which is a thorium filter that we use. And those individual triangles that you see there are lithologies that we are targeting. I think
one of the things that we want to be emphasizing at this stage too is that what your team did in all of the widespread geological activities, from the radiometrics to the magnetics and all the mapping area, is, again, this is the duck analogy. What do we find in zones 1 through 3, and where do we find them elsewhere, right?
Exactly, and that's the one thing that we focused on with the guys, is we said to them, obviously here's zones 1, if you can see my laser, here's zones 1 through to 3. We can see that we have lithologies of interest dotted all the way through that. And we spent a lot of time as a team mapping through there, seeing what lithologies we're seeing, looking at the core, understanding what lithologies we're seeing underneath it. And the drilling results released last week and today are a timely reminder again of the potential of what we have at the Eureka project. And not only that, the significant opportunity we have in our seriously underexplored areas, not only on our license, but in the region. And to have completed this in the last 3 months is fantastic from the team. We really stood on them. But this work further confirmed to us as a management team that this Eureka project has genuine scale potential and growth potential. And what's happened now is, from this, as Jim likes to say, if it looks like a duck or walks like a duck, it potentially is a duck. We have identified a lot of ducks, and we are excited about them. We definitely understand that they are currently targets. They're not all going to be mineralized. They're not all going to carry deposition, but the few that we have arrived at definitely are showing extreme promise. We're still conducting this widespread geological mapping, and at the same time, we're conducting infill on areas that we feel have other potential opportunities or need further understanding. And on the left-hand side, you can see a handheld scintillometer, radii, that's giving a reading of 645 counts per second. That is a radioactive reading. To give you a comparison, when we first visited the site with the founders in 2018, and we went into zone 1, which had a large trench open at that site, these are the type of numbers that we were picking up while walking along those trenches. So we've got further confirmation in actual numbers that are saying there is something here. We're going to continue doing this. For those of you that are currently taking your finger and pointing at the screen, there are 17 of those areas on the map that Chris is currently showing that hold similar pathfinders to what we've found in zones 1 through 3. So 17 more ducks. And we're going to continue doing this with the view to identifying more of these. You can see there's a large open area down in the south. We haven't been there. And the field team is going to start looking at areas down there as well as we start to grow the opportunity. I rushed back to Halifax and met with the board a couple weeks ago on Zoom, and we've confirmed the technical team would really like to be drill testing these targets in the near future, and I think we can look forward to that